Invite our chair, FCPA Mohamed Abdullahi, to come and make his remarks, and in turn invite His Excellency the President. Karibu Bwana Chairman. Tumpigie makofi Bwana Chairman.
Thank you very much, our whip. Your Excellency, I will ride on the protocols already observed before me, but I just want to, before my speech, ask the deputy governors, because I think other groups have been asked to, have been appreciated, to also stand so that we know the deputy governors who are here. We can appreciate you in totality, deputy governors. Thank you very much. Please let's appreciate our deputy governors who are here. Your Excellency, when my sister was here, Gladys Wanga, host governor, I think because of the small element of stage fright that we all have and the fact that we're putting her under pressure to save on time, she forgot to introduce her deputy governor. I think he also didn't stand up when the other leaders stood up. So on her behalf, I apologize and recognize and appreciate the deputy governor of Homabay County, Oyugi Magwaga. Your Excellency, I also want to appreciate the presence of our CS Opio Wandai. CS, you can just stand up. Now, with that, Your Excellency, because not all governors will have an opportunity to come and stand up here, I'll be the last one speaking before I invite you. I want to ask all the governors to stand up. Excellency governors, host governor, Gladys Wanga was here. She stood and spoke. My vice chair was also here, Dr. Mutahi Kahiga. Our whip was our MC here, Steve Sang. Then we have my immediate former boss. She's chair emeritus, governor of Kirinyaga and Waiguru. We have the governor of Tharaka Nithi, Governor Muthomi Njuki, Governor His Excellency Chilo Ayako of Migori, Governor Nadhif Adam Jama of Garissa, Governor Kiari Badlisha of Nyandarua, Governor Mohamed Khalif Mandera, Speaker Emeritus, Governor of Bungoma Kenneth Lusaka, my professional colleague, FCPF Fernandez Barasa, Governor of Kakamega, Governor Paul Otoma of Busia County, Governor Patrick Olentutu of Narok, Governor Mahmoud Mohamed Ali, Marsabit County, Governor Orengo James, Siaya County, Governor Professor Hilary Barchok of Bomet, Governor and Benjamin Cheboy of Baringo County, our sister Governor Cecily Mbarire of Embu, Governor Amos Nyaribo of Nyamira, and Governor and Kachapin of West Pokot. Am I missing out anyone? Oh yes, Governor Wilba Otichilo Vihiga, Governor Julius Malombe Kitui, Governor James Irungu of Laikipia, and Governor Kangata, who was here with some innovation a while back. I thank you all. Your Excellency, I had to do that. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Amos Kingi, Speaker of the Senate, all the governors here present, and I will ride on the protocols thus far established, all delegates attending Devolution Conference 2025. On behalf of the Council of Governors, I take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency the President, the Honorable Dr. William Ruto, and all our distinguished guests and delegates to the 9th Devolution Conference and the 2nd Biennial Devolution Conference. As they say here in Homabay County, Warwako Uduto. You're all welcome. This year, our discussions will focus on 3 key themes of equity, inclusion, and social justice. Your Excellency, in the recent past, our country has witnessed citizen protests triggered by, among others, the finance bill, youth and government issues, and governance concerns. The continent and the world watched as our young people, popularly known as the Gen Zs, marched in major streets across the country, demanding for their voices to be heard. It's sad, of course, also that they were politically infiltrated. Indeed, the theme of the conference, for the people, for prosperity, for the people, for prosperity, devolution as a catalyst for equity, inclusion, and social justice, is meant to spur deep conversations on how the devolved governments can position themselves as the implementers and champions of these 3 democratic tenets of inclusion, equity, and social justice. This year, as we host the conference, it's a conference with a difference, the addition of side events that will be hosted by a myriad of partners, including government agencies, civil society organizations, the private sector, and development partners, will bring as many voices as possible to the conversation. I invite all the delegates to carefully peruse the program and purpose to attend the side events, which will run each single day of the conference. I'd like to sincerely thank the team that led to the preparations of this year's conference, all the members of the esteemed steering committee, which traditionally, Your Excellency, is chaired by the Vice Chair of the Council. This year it was chaired by Dr. Mutahi Kahiga, my Vice. I'd also like to acknowledge the Planning Committee led by the CEO of Council. They go through sleepless nights to deliver a conference to 12,000 delegates, Asanteni sana. I'd also like to recognize the presence of our international delegates this year. We have guests joining us from different parts of the world. You saw also they were represented on top here by the Jospong group of Ghana, who are displaying waste management. In 2010, Your Excellency and distinguished delegates, Kenya's promulgated a new constitution for themselves, containing what is globally regarded as one of the most radical shifts in governance the world has ever seen. Some have called the format of the Kenyan devolution experimental. The new system created distinct and yet independent governance through the national government and 47 county governments, which are constitutionally mandated to deliver on key services through locally elected leadership and representatives. We are all in agreement, all of us here, that devolution, notwithstanding its challenges, real and perceived, remains an exemplary case of meaningful reform and the best gift that Kenyans accorded themselves in 2010. The main purpose of devolution was creating units that would secure equitable distribution of development in the country, that every Kenyan is then guaranteed a dignified and a quality life with access to public goods such as healthcare, water, housing, food, education, and transport at the local level. Creation of administrative units beyond the county governments in wards, villages, and planning committees is further meant to ensure that the communities are heard and that the citizens' needs are met no matter where they are in Kenya. Article 174 of our Constitution captures this very succinctly by laying out the objects and the purpose of devolution. And there are 9 of them, and they include, among others, to promote democratic and accountable exercise of power, to foster national unity and recognize diversity. I'll not read all of them, but you can refer to Article 174. And in fact, in that article, Your Excellency, it's only one, really, and the object that explicitly refers to economic development under F, which says social and economic development and the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout Kenya. So through devolution, we were dealing with development, but we were also dealing with equity and social justice that is uniform across Kenya. From the above, ladies and gentlemen, the architecture of the Constitution anticipated that devolution would not only be concerned with economic development, but it will also foster national unity, democratic and political inclusion, and facilitate the decentralization of power, responsibilities, and resources, all aimed at bringing decision-making and services closer to the people. The establishment of the devolved government was thus our ambitious way as a country of reversing centralization as a basis of both political and economic development. It is both an economic imperative. Devolution is an economic imperative, but I believe it was also a political settlement. Devolution is indeed the truest and the most progressive definition of bottom-up social, economic, and political transformation. 12 years ago, Your Excellency, under the first election, under the new constitutional dispensation of 2010, we set up the first cycle of county governments. We ushered in 47 new county governments. And these governments, unlike the former local authorities, were created through the statutes. They had constitutional protection. They were established in line with the Constitution, and they enjoy both institutional and financial safeguards directly from the supreme law of the land. The fourth schedule further splits the functions between the national and the counties. Your Excellency, we've come a long way. At the Council of Governors, we appreciate that in 2014, on the 16th of December, you unbundled through a Gazette notice a lot more functions and component of functions. And this has been something that has been outstanding for long, and we don't take it for granted. But we still seek the further unbundling and costing of the few remaining functions, that they be completed to finality in full compliance with the letter and the spirit of the Constitution, and that the attendant resources of all functions already transferred will all follow. As I make this speech, Your Excellency, I'm a second-term governor, having served in the first cohort of the first phase of county governments between 2013 and 17. In my view, devolution, again I say, has come a long way. The journey has not been easy. We've had policy, legal, and administrative challenges that have threatened the very foundation of devolution. But I am convicted, I'm convinced here that counties, and in general devolution, has gone from strength to strength. Counties have recorded countless success stories that reveal that devolution is uplifting the lives and livelihood of Kenyans. According to the 2024 Gross County Product Report, which was released by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, county governments are making significant and transformative contribution to the national economic performance. Essential investments, be it in financial, material, and technical, is being made towards the devolved sectors, and this is contributing substantially to national growth and development. I'll just give a few, very few examples. Data from the period that devolution existed shows, say, in the provision of healthcare, which is one of the most important services that any county government must deliver, between 2014 and 2025, Kenya has recorded notable improvements in key maternal and reproductive health indicators. The proportion of women with at least 4 antenatal care visits has risen from 58% to 66%, and skilled birth deliveries has increased from 61% to 82%, reflecting the expanded access to skilled birth attendants as a result of devolution. At the onset of devolution in 2013, Your Excellency, there were 8,466 health centers and dispensaries across the country, and these I'm only referring to public health centers and dispensaries. Robust and intentional health investment by county governments in collaboration with the national government and private sector has resulted in increasing these to 14,710 operational health facilities across Kenya. Public facilities account now for over 45% of all health facilities in the country, with the rest being faith-based and private. The majority of these public facilities are level 2 and 3, while level 4, 5, and 6 account for about 7% of all public facilities. When you look at the head count of healthcare workers, Your Excellency, we only had 874 medical doctors in district hospitals before devolution. We also had 6,620 nurses. Today, this has expanded to 4,651 medical doctors in public facilities in counties. We also have 34,000, up from 6,000, 34,220 nurses in county facilities, 7,877 clinical officers, 4,686 lab technicians, 1,942 nutritionists, among other healthcare workers. This clearly represents a more than fourfold growth in human resources. At the community level, partnering with the national government, we now have 107,831 community health workers. And Your Excellency, you can give examples in agriculture, where we now have 6.5 million farmers registered, as opposed to 541,000 in 2016. We can give examples in ECD, where we now have from nearly zero staff in payroll of ECD teachers in counties to over 30,000 ECD teachers across the 47 counties, and 48,700 ECD centers. There are many, but in the interest of time, I will just highlight the key. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the story of devolution is dotted with many successes, and we can speak to it in every single county. Every single county has a story to tell, but I'll end it there. That notwithstanding, Your Excellency, there are numerous challenges. Challenges abound. The debate on functional integrity of the two levels of government, the quantum of resources allocated to devolution, delays of disbursements and releases of funds, and administrative action that leads to clawback, policy, laws, especially subsidiary instruments that predate the 2024 Constitution that are not then compliant with devolution, still remain a challenge. And Your Excellency, I will note that in spite of the month-on-month delays of disbursements of funds, for the 3 years that you've been in charge, 2 out of those 3, at least the last shilling, was released to the CRF, the County Revenue Funds account, by midnight, the 30th of June of that fiscal year. And we don't take that for granted. It was not always the case, Your Excellency. So in line with the conference theme, county governments must also ensure that resources are distributed equitably, even within the counties, that services are available and accessible to the most vulnerable populations that are marginalized, minority groups, and that there is meaningful participation in decision making. It's time for action, not for talk. As leaders who are gathered here, we've been called upon to serve. Let's heed this call with integrity, humility, and selflessness. Our Constitution expects us all here that we will conduct our affairs in the fullness of good governance practices, in respect of human rights and in social justice, while ensuring that there is equity and inclusion at all levels. On the overall, Your Excellency, and I'm winding up, devolution has been and it will continue to remain a journey. It's not an event, it's a process. I can say as stakeholders we have done well, we can all do better, and that's why we're here with all the stakeholders and partners. We are ready to listen to what interventions we can apply to make devolved governance even better and stronger. As I conclude, let me take this opportunity to appreciate all our stakeholders who have supported this conference. I convey our heartfelt appreciation of the national government through the presidency, the Senate, and all the 47 county governments for their support and participation. A special thanks to our platinum sponsors and partners, the Kenya Commercial Bank, Safaricom PLC, and the Jospong Group of companies. Those were our 3 platinum partners this year. To all our other partners, this could not have happened without you. Devolution has brought 12,000 delegates at DEFCON 2025 to Homabay County. This could not have been done without our partners. We appreciate and value all of you. Your support has made this event a reality and a big success. We cannot thank you enough. Continue to work with us as we keep the devolution fire blazing. I wish you all fruitful discussions in the coming days of the conference. It is now my duty and pleasure to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Dr. William Ruto, to come and address us and officially open Devolution Conference 2025 for us.
Thank you very much, Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to be back in Homabay, the county of endless potential and possibilities. A place whose promise mirrors that of our great nation. Vast possibilities, many opportunities, awaiting bold action as we steadily unlock the full benefits of devolution. Our counties are critical frontiers and the powerful drivers of both national and local growth. This Devolution Conference is therefore a moment to take stock, celebrate gains, and reimagine how we can accelerate progress for every county and every Kenyan. The theme of this year's conference speaks